Planet, our HOTS video. We're not HOTS and Knots, because we're not doing the knots.
Don't bring negativity to our doorstep.
Yes, that, or something like that.
Yep.
Matt gets sad.
Yeah, this is our hops from the spring equinox. What year is it?
383.
383. I pay attention to things.
There you go.
Yeah.
Should we just get the kind of like one thing that everyone's gone on about and just kind of put it on Front Street and then we can kick it to the curb?
Yeah, go on then.
Cool. It was muddy. Done. Let's move on.
Alright, who's going first?
It was also actually quite sunny on some of the days,
I know,
which was nice.
I like
It was
that.
almost a bit too warm, actually.
Was it a bit too warm?
I would have preferred if it was a little bit colder.
Okay.
But that's
Anyway.
just me.
Right, so we're going to go through. We've chosen our top 3 moments of this event, and we're going to start with Matthew.
What? With me?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to do one from each day because I didn't have the best event ever, and I'm not going to go into that. But I've got one moment from Friday that I'm going to start with,
Okay.
and that was. Well, it wasn't really Friday. Technically, it was Saturday morning. Oh. It's better than a sleeping pill, aren't I?
You are. Wow. Anyway, let's.
So, Egra Chris decided that I need to start having more fun at events. So we devised a secret little ceremony we were going to do, because not a lot of the new players got initiated last event. They weren't really introduced at Lands Meet. So didn't quite get...
Didn't really have time.
They didn't really get a welcome to Anvil portion of their first event, which we always try and do with new players. Or new characters, at least.
I don't.
So we did a little orc ceremony, and we got about 15 of the new players. I think there were probably more. I know we didn't get the frost bears.
Noted frost bears.
Yeah, so it's
We're
coming
on.
for you.
Bears.
Next event, gonna do the same, but different. Yeah.
Okay. So you enjoyed the ceremony that you got to do.
Yeah, so I basically led like Fal's first sermon. And I...
Praise be.
No. Wrong person.
Wrong person. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's move on.
I don't want to say much because it will spoil it.
Yeah. But you really enjoyed that.
Similar with what I did with AD last event.
Yep.
I did another Welcome to Anvil speech, and everyone got a little gift.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just really atmospheric. It was in the pit. We did it at midnight, so it was like a whole.
Okay.
The new day is dawning. We all change and become something new today.
Well.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay. Andrea?
I think you should go next.
We're going to go for my one next.
Yeah.
So I think for me, kind of like, I knew that we were going to end up having to, we were going to do one of these videos, so I kind of like tried to keep as much mental notes as I could. So I was, like Matt, I was kind of just like, I'm going to try and pick one from each day to kind of go with, and luckily enough, Saturday I had like about 20, but Friday I started off a bit kind of meh. Like, it took me a good couple hours to kind of kick into character because I wasn't feeling it. But my favourite moment from Friday was there was an incident with Medea Ruth. She's the one that she looks like, you know, she's got that weird tentacle on her head.
She's a marrow.
A marrow, let's go with that.
She's a really highly lineaged marrow.
Alright, anyway.
There we go.
The point is, anyway, she was coming down outside the Orc camp, giving it all that, saying that we're a disease and all of this type of stuff.
Well, you are.
I am, yeah, but to the Orcs, and we should all die, and yada yada yada. And this was kicking off a lot of aggro, and then it went on and on and on and on. And to the point where, you know, we had to call people in, and they said she wouldn't leave because technically she wasn't doing anything wrong, she hadn't hurt anyone or anything like that. And she was like, oh, I want to kill everyone. Like, all of the Orcs, they've got to die. And there's this really cool moment, right, where Vio grabs his dagger and just walks up to Medea Ruth and just goes, go on then. Okay. If you're going to do it, live up to your convictions. Go on, stab me. And she's like, no, there's people here, I'll get in trouble, this, that and the other. He's like, yeah, you're a coward then. It's right there, go on. So that went on for a little while longer. And I started to realise that my dear Ruth had just kept saying the same things on loop. So I just turned around and like, it got to a point where I was just kind of like, will you say something different? And I realised that got a reaction. So I kept playing off that, and then she kept shouting and shouting. So I was like, all right, cool. And I went and got a drum. So every time she would talk, I was like, dun, 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 dun. The orcs are dun, 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 dun. What was amazing because I was just
like
waiting.
Shouting no at her a lot. Just
Yeah.
The orcs, no. The orcs, no.
And I was literally waiting there, and I was like staring at her, and I was just like, come on, I'm waiting. And yeah, it was such a serious moment, but it was so funny as well. And you can see that it was a very awkward situation, but then turned into not necessarily a light-hearted situation, but a situation a lot more people could have got involved, because it wasn't that high, intense role play.
Yeah.
It was that, and then it kind of gone to a level that I think a lot more people could have appreciated. So, yeah, I don't know the person who plays Medea Ruth, but
This is awful. I can't remember
I
it
don't-
either. So, is it Kerry?
I think it's Kerry. I think
it's
some people
pronounced-
pronounce it Seri.
okay.
Yeah.
But
Well, if you're
we-
watching
we all
this, much appreciation. You smacked it out of the park right there.
Best antagonist in the film.
Oh my god, so good. I'm not gonna lie. If I see you again with a drum, I'm just gonna walk up behind you and go. Da, 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 da. But that's just me. Anyway.
Right. So my one.
Yeah.
I've got an option here. I can start from the high point and go to the low points. I think because I peaked quite early.
You do
in
you.
My event.
I mean, you peaked about 9 o'clock on Friday, didn't you?
Some might say it was actually 10.
Think you're
I was a bit
fine.
late. Anyway, so before the event,
Yeah.
we had Sky Moot, which kind of, for me, kicked this whole thing off.
Yeah.
At the last event, the Liberty Pact was signed, and I was like, cool. And then it didn't really dawn on me until about Sky Moot how, like, important that should be for the Imperial Orcs.
Yeah.
Did you not get that from Matt's
Really
tears in the last video?
Yeah, I did.
Was-
but like, I didn't.
was
I
that
didn't
where it
make
came
the
from?
like connection between
Was it a grown
between
man?
Matt crying and the whole of our nation should
Yeah.
be
I
crying.
mean, I do it so much that it's not doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, basically. Anyway, I knew that a lot of the orcs didn't really know what was
No.
going on.
In character, I didn't know.
You didn't know about it. It wasn't like announced, and I wanted to like draw attention to it for our nation.
Yep.
And so, I very excitedly wrote Matt D a very, very long message, basically frothing about doing something with them to like get it recognised in our nation.
Yeah.
And like how important we should be taking it. Now I've been watching a lot of like Viking rock, and
Okay.
I wanted to do like this big like serious atmospheric thing where they come and it was dark and there were like torches and like smoke and stuff, and they wouldn't be able to see outside the pit, but the pit would be surrounded by orcs, and then like we'd sort of do all this stuff, and they'd come and they'd be worried that they were going to die, but they weren't, because we were just going to do a testimony on them. Anyway, it didn't really go according to plan, and it wound up being a lot more like wholesome and nice environment for them than I originally intended.
I think watching that, it was a really, really nice ceremony. I'm not going to lie, I was actually more online. So you had the main cluster of people at the front watching it. I kind of stood slightly around to the side, mainly because there was open flames and you were walking around. And I was like, I know there's a hole in the
Okay.
pit. If it all goes wrong, I can quickly jump in and like stamp it
Yeah.
down.
So basically, I'm going to put that down because otherwise somebody's going to
Yeah.
get it in the face. Yeah, about 2 days before the event, I was sitting there, I was talking to the people that were involved, and I was trying to get it organised, and I suddenly realised that I'd organised it for 9 o'clock,
Yep.
and I was at work and it was about 8:30, and I looked out the window and it was still daytime, and I was like, oh no, and I realised I'd done it too early.
Yeah.
So we kind of rescheduled it for as late as we possibly could, which was 10.
Yeah.
And I bought these like
They were sticks with rope around them.
yeah, they're like garden torches.
Yeah. Tiki torches.
And I put them in the pit, and I got the storm crows that had been sent to me.
Yeah.
Bless them away. My lovely storm crows.
Storm crows.
Yeah. And I got them to help me out and stuff. But while I was walking around the pit, apparently quite a lot of people were worried I was about to set myself on fire. There was a point where I was like, my back feels quite warm, and I was like, I just checked, I'm not on fire.
Wow, that's literally the point? Am I on fire?
It would have been pretty awkward.
That would have been awkward.
But it was really nice, and it wound up being a lot nicer.
It was
than
more wholesome.
I expected it to be.
It was a lot of tears.
Basically everything that oh, it's time for bed.
Yeah, apparently so.
Apparently so, yeah.
Yeah, everything that I had actually intended went wrong.
Yep.
They all arrived at different times, which I just did not plan for. Eska got there well early. She was like, oh yeah, I was told to come here. And I was just like, where's the rest of them? I haven't planned anything. Why is nothing organised? So I was like, okay, sure, hang out here for a bit. And I got everything quickly sorted out, and then the storm crows helped me out with that, and it was really good. There was a bit of a misunderstanding with the priesting skills, which I thought was quite characterful, but I genuinely didn't get it. I got 16 Liao for that, so that I could get one of the circlets hallowed, and then slap a level 5 testimony on them all, because I didn't want it to get rubbed out, and then they all arrived and we couldn't get to that. I didn't realise that you had to stack them up like a transformer.
I don't know.
Yeah, anyway, that all went through. I think we made some people cry. Didn't we?
There was some tears there.
I love that.
Yep. There's some good old emotions.
People's pain, it sustains me. It's a well-known fact.
It's true.
Yeah, it was just that was the pinnacle, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed setting that scene, and it just worked really nicely.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, there was another bit that didn't get slotted in because it just didn't feel right. But they're going to come back for that.
That's what happens though. You just got to roll it.
Or else the Orc Nation will come and get you.
Matthew?
I'll have my wine back now.
Number 2.
So my next two, or my last two, they're quite simple ones, which is sort of, every now and again I remember what it was like to be an orc when we first joined the nation, and you're still, a bit like when you're a new player, you're still in awe of everything going on, you drink it in, and you just do simple things, you just go to a bar with your mates and you buy alcohol for fake money, or you buy some cakes for fake money.
Yep.
And it's something I've been wanting to do for a while, is just have a night off, or have an hour or so off.
I think I know what you're on about, actually.
So it'll probably end up being part of yours as well.
Yeah.
So we didn't have a party in the Imperial offices on Saturday, because everyone was sort of everywhere else, and there was a lot of other stuff going on, so we didn't really coordinate anything. So I had a rare 11 o'clock until timeout off, where I didn't have to do much. So I ended up going to the Windmark for a little bit, first time in a long time, and spoke to some people there. But then what my favourite moment actually was I came out to the Orc camp, met with an incredibly drunken Yargol, and Bull.
Yeah.
I think Thamir came in at that point, and I think the three of us, and Takor as well.
Yeah, Takor, yeah.
And did Crunk come, or was that a bit later? Did
That
he
was-
sort of
that-
meet
that-
us on the way?
That's how much of a good night it was.
He just
He
appeared
can't
out of
remember.
nowhere.
He did, yeah.
Anyway, so we were all, let's go out for a drink. We've all got nothing to do. Let's just have some time off and chill and sit. So we ended up going to the Marchers because, of course, the Mandela's Arms is like one of our favourite pubs, and it's pretty sure it's one of the only ones still open that we can actually go to.
Yeah.
They didn't have any beer, So we went into Merrick's, into the community hall, and we just took over one of the tables there. And it was so nice to just not have any work to do. There was nothing going on. It was just us and Sammy and Auric turned up eventually at the end.
No, he was there for quite a while.
Of course he was, because he came back with more alcohol for us.
That's how much of a good night it was, folks. He can't even remember the order.
Oh, it was just, like I said, it was really nice to sit down and just be and be there in that tent, surrounded by a couple of marchers singing. We did a little bit of business chat, but that was it, and we just had a really nice time.
I got paid to drink that random bottle of gin.
You
didn't
did?
I? Yeah.
There was some weird alcohol.
There's some weird alcohol.
Oh, and there was also all that food left over from Langdon's wedding.
You're munching on some
So
bread.
we just had some bread and cheese that was still good, because Langdon and Master of the Mint tied the knot. And we got kebabs.
Yes.
That was yes, because we went on a quest for more alcohol down in the Mandela's Arms, and there wasn't any. They'd all sold out. And it was like midnight, and everyone had seemed to sell out. And we walked back up to Merrick's, and Auric was like, "That's right, I'll sort us out. I'll sort the drinks out." And we walked back up to Merrick's up the hill, and someone just shouts out, "Does anyone want kebabs?" And we're like,
Yes.
It's 1:45 at night. Yes, of course we do. So we bought some ridiculously expensive kebabs.
Yep.
And had some more cider.
They saw you guys
Oh,
coming.
they did.
Yeah.
Hey, look, there's those posh guys.
They deserved, like
Let's
we
rob
deserved that.
Yeah.
Totally deserved that.
Right. So that situation, that whole night, from my point of view, was absolutely amazing. But it was amazing for the fact that there was one piece of all of that puzzle that shouldn't have been there, and that was Bull.
Yeah.
because you have all of these respectful people, and like people who are well known, like for achieving something, things like that, and then there's Bob.
That was. So
I mean, I know it's like
You have a token pleb.
No, but I know it's like being like the pit champion and things like that. You know, it was all good, but on a wider scale, like on an anvil scale, it's kind of like I remember sitting there just like, these are the bigwigs. This is that club Matt was talking about, the 1%.
So this is the first time you met Sammy and Auric?
I'd met
Auric
Auric. Yeah, I'd met Auric a couple of times, but it was more a kind of like just a nod and things like that. I'd never met Fanmere before.
Yeah.
Excuse me, he has another name now.
What's that?
Shacklebreaker.
Shacklebreaker, yeah. I forgot about
He
that.
started introducing himself.
He has,
with that.
yeah.
Oh,
It's very cool. We had a really
Sorry.
good chat about
Yeah,
that.
he did. He
didn't
really
mean to,
enjoyed it.
like,
No,
side
it's
eye
fine. Yeah, I think that, from my point of view on that side, that was just, that was so weird. It was such an enjoyable night. I now need to think of a new favourite moment.
Yeah. So that one, it can kind of be, that can be yours. I mean,
No,
I want to
think of
say
a new
that.
one.
While
What's
Andrea
that
says
your
her
one?
one, I'll quickly.
Okay, so
I'll
I just
use
need to,
that.
like, one last thing from that, because I was quite quiet that evening, and didn't realise I got an eye infection. So that was sort of, because I'd taken the time to have a break, and we were winding down, and I wasn't running here, there and everywhere. It's like, you know, when your body just does that, and it's like, you're going to be ill now, because you've got nothing better to do.
Yeah.
I could feel my eye just slowly, it had been bloodshot all day, and I just thought, I jammed a paintbrush in there, and it wasn't that bad.
You jammed a paintbrush
but
and
it-
you're like,
it
oh,
was.
it's not bad.
It was pretty bad, and that evening it was just like, oh no.
Oh,
What have
no.
I done?
So, but I managed to keep going, and we were there for a little bit, and
I had a laugh, and I will definitely, Bull will definitely happily go out with the 1%ers again for, you know, a few tinnies and a cheeky kebab. That's right. That's how the 1% of Empire roll. Tinny and kebabs. So with that said, Andrea, what was your second favourite moment?
My second favourite, right now, so my last two kind of overlap, because I didn't time in on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, my second two are like the last two things I did on Saturday, which must have been about the time that you were off with the 1% Club. So I'm gonna start with like I don't know whether to start. One of them happened right in the middle of the other one.
Just do them both at the same time.
Are you sure?
Just talk about both.
That,
Yeah,
that's
if
gonna
you
ruin the,
no,
like,
if you want to
continuity.
throw both, I'll do both of mine and then Matt can finish. Go. It's
Okay,
fine.
alright. Planning. So, right. Roar and Yarn had a second date. And it was brilliant. It was really nice, actually. It was quite fun. So we went to Senate Motions again. I bought the tickets and it was great. They actually put on a dance that was like orcs and the League coming together. So it was meant to be really stompy.
Yeah.
I was told that it was meant to be stompy.
Stompy.
Gabriel was not doing it stompy. Okay, so there's one of the moves that we had to do was like you had to kind of like you had to face each other, but you were like kind of staggered. So like you were stepping past one another and like rocking backwards and forwards.
Excuse me.
This is kind of like partly one of my favourite moments, so I'm going to let you talk about your side of this before I say mine.
So like, you know, Ro's blind. She doesn't really know what it's supposed to look like. And Gabriel said the key word, stompy.
So
So
you just start like going.
I properly started like stomping. And like I was putting quite a lot of weight into it. So
Yeah.
it kind of turned from stomping into jumping. We must have looked fucking ridiculous. We must have looked absolutely like obscene, quite frankly. And we were going around like doing this flipping like hop backwards and forwards, all over the bleeding shop. And like we were getting compliments from the humans, like, "Oh yeah, very good."
I must be doing it right then.
Which only like, you know, aggravated it into being more.
If I stomp more, they'll say nicer things to me.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, it was great. Roar and Yarn are, like, you know, the optimal at sidestepping. We've nailed that.
Yeah.
We've got that down to a T. We can do it way more efficiently than any of the other participants. And we've got this, like, jumping thing nailed down. We
So
understand that part.
It's in the bag.
Fucking got it. That evening was really nice. Like, there was a rock. Basically, there was a couple of blood crows. There's a few orcs. Not as many orcs came.
Yeah, there's a
as
few
before.
orcs there, yeah.
So there was a couple more spaces because it'd been so muddy. They hadn't sold all the tickets.
Yeah.
And like there was a few more slots. So the others kind of jumped in. Trosk and I've forgotten his name. It's Luke's new character. I think it's Ginger.
The Iron Tide.
Tide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the new Iron Tides.
Let's
One
just
of
say
the
Luke.
Ironside.
'cause
I'm pretty sure it's
yeah,
Luke's
yeah.
character.
I'm not sure what he's
And Aurora got grabbed by Russ.
Yep.
Like literally, like grabbed her and just dragged her on. It was hilarious.
Krunk is not going to be happy.
Trosk and Luke's new character looked like they were having a whale of a time.
They did,
They
yeah.
looked like they were having a very nice
Romantic evening.
romantic little dance.
Oh no, right, yeah.
Yeah. Ost.
Oh, we know what that means.
And yeah. So anyway.
I think you'll find he's married.
So yes or no? That's the point I was getting at.
Okay.
You got it. You nailed it.
Anyway, go on,
So-
second one?
So on to like kind of the second point.
Yeah.
It's gonna kind of divulge back into that point.
I'm speeding you now. Come on.
Please no. So this is technically point 3, and then we'll go back.
Okay.
So after, you know, halfway through, in fact it wasn't even halfway, it was about a quarter of an hour in,
It was 2 songs in out of the 4.
Grauka turned up.
Yeah.
Grauka turned up to crash the date. And I wasn't best pleased.
There was a lot of mischief, and I could see there was a lot of mischief.
I was having a really nice time, and then Grauka came along and she was like, "It's time." we'd done a bit of planning
Wait, what?
before.
Please tell me she came up to you and went, "It's time."
She literally did. We'd done a little bit of planning. So one of the things that happened before,
Yes.
obviously Raw cut off Grad's hand at the gate
Wait.
last season.
Did it look like this? Oh, we were waiting for that. We
It
were
might
waiting
look
for
a
that.
bit like this. Anyway,
What I should have done is I should have had it like behind here.
And you could have
gone,
just moved out of the way.
I'm a little bit freaked out by that. Anyway, so Raw cut off Grad's hand at the gate, and
Yeah.
he immediately got dragged off by humans, right, to the hospital and had it regrown.
Yeah.
And we weren't best pleased because it was meant to be like a sacrifice, and Raw has feelings about that. Anyway, me and Steph have been talking about it. And we come up with Operation Beige Assault.
Beige assault.
Yeah, and we were going to
Beige
do it the
raid.
night of Worth, and we basically collared Grud the things, and like he was having a nice evening up until that moment. Basically, if 3 slightly hyperactive shaman ever come up to you in the night and start going, "Come on, Grud, come for a walk with us," don't ever go.
Don't do it.
It's
Why would
only
you?
gonna end badly for you. Anyway, Grud bought into it and he was like, where are we going? And
Is there
you know,
biscuits?
in that way that he does.
If
I
you said
really
it's,
hope he said that.
if he literally, like, if you turn around and say there's biscuits, he'd be like, "Biscuits? All right, I'm on the way." Biscuits.
We kind of like sherped him into the pit. And
Yeah.
then we fucking turned on him. Sorry. Then we turned on him. And Grud had a bad time after that.
Did he?
Yeah. So Grauka's become an oath rate.
Yeah.
And like this is why she wasn't very happy about Grud doing the sacrifice and then it not meaning anything.
Yeah.
And she did this
Because
big
he talked a
spiel
lot about
sacrificing himself for loyalty and stuff like this, and then immediately it was back. So, yeah.
consequences. Nah,
No.
we'll just heal that immediately.
Yeah. So then Grauka did this big spiel with me and Aurora, like hassling Grud and like making sure we didn't fucking run away. And I'm not gonna say what Ed said to me because it is so brutal, but he didn't have a go at the others. And I'm standing there with my axe, and he said this thing to me. Like, Grauka was like... I was actually meant to hand my axe over to Grauka,
Yeah.
but then Grud said
He egged you on.
he was definitely egging me on. And he said something to me, and I just chopped his hand off mid-speech.
You did a full, the guy that chopped Jamie Lannister's hand off. Just like you think you're going to get away with it. Bang!
And it just felt... Oh, it felt really bad. I come away from that feeling, like, really awful.
No, you don't.
No, I did. I really did.
No, you don't have a soul.
Why you gotta call me out like this?
Yeah, I do.
Anyway, I felt really bad because it was kind of odd. Like we were trying to teach him something and he wasn't.
Clicking in.
It wasn't that he wasn't getting it. I'm not sure that that's what Grud needs to hear. And we did this thing, and I was like, oh,
Okay.
this don't feel good. And yeah, so then on to like back to point 2.
Okay.
This is why they kind of mingled into each other.
Okay. Go on then.
We kind of, Jan and Raw finished up their date with like Jan like comforting Raw, and it was really sweet. And why do you look so angry? Anyway, then we like finished off. We did a little like went back to doing some dancing. I'm pretty sure I nearly stamped on Steph and Alex, who were also having like a sort of shaman-y like little moment in the pit there, and I was just like, no, gonna dance on him now. And then we kind of were like, oh, what should we do now? Let's go and have a drink, because I felt pretty like grim.
Yeah.
anyway, I don't exactly know how we went to try and get a drink, but everywhere was dry.
Yeah.
We went to the Imperial offices and we were like, it's foul here. Can we buy some drinks? And they were like, no, get out.
That's when we'd all
Freaks.
gone down. Yeah.
That's when we were having some tinnies and a kebab.
Yeah, and we sort of bimbled around and we were, oh, let's just go back to camp and see what we've got in camp. And we met up with Grauka and Trosk again, who were like, Grauka was like, let's go Pyjama Club. And I was like, no, I don't want to go to Urizen of all the places.
Is that your Pyjama Club's not Shattered Tower?
No, it's definitely Urizen, right?
Say,
And she was like, let's go to Urizen,
branded
it'll be
it.
great, we'll all get cheered up. And I'm like, oh god, like really? Urizen? Really? That's like the last place I want to be.
Oh.
Wait for it. I couldn't have been more wrong. Like, that was so nice. We sort of went in and Steph was like, I've brought you some orcs. You wanted orcs? We've got orcs.
They definitely wanted orcs, I'm sure.
They actually did. It was really nice. We sort of went into this massive tent and like their general was there and we were they were sort of like, they were all over us. Like, they were like talking to us about stuff. We had a really cool conversation with some Uras and a lady who was like talking to us about touching, because Uras have got hang-ups about touching each other.
Yeah.
In public anyway. And like discussing those cultural differences was really nice. And
Well, as you were there, like, I just don't understand what you're...
No,
I'm blind. I've got to read your face.
I was way more coof than that. I think we kind of... I can't really remember. I'd had 2 rums and root beers at this point.
It was the
They
root
were
beers.
quite strong. And then I started drinking wine there. So
Ooh, bad mix.
I was pretty full flags. And I don't know how they did it, but they managed to talk me into singing Fuck You, I'm Drunk to Urizen Pyjama Club. It was just really nice. It was kind of a really nice end to that evening.
Okay.
I've stopped talking now. You can have your 2 moments.
Well, it's fine, you just take forever. Anyway, right, so my last 2 moments. So first one will have to be, it's kind of like, had some lead up to it. So my character of Bull hates the fact that there seems to be something going on between Jan and Raw, because he's doing the whole protective big brother thing. And I was like, how far am I going to take this? But in character, it kind of like had started doing its own thing. And I found out that they were going to the dance club. So I waited to the right moment and I stood in the background.
So you dug a hole.
So no. So I wait. So there's that little viewing gallery. So I was in there and I was kind of in the shadows. And then as soon as Jan turned around, I just walked forward, came to the light. I was like, "Hey, what you doing?" And then it kind of kicked off, and then you were just like, "Bull, go get a drum," and I'm just like, "No, I'm not getting a drum." And then Jan was like, "Sorry, did you just say no to your warlord?" And I was like, "Oh, touche, touche." And
You were not happy about getting that drum.
I had to go all the way up to the orc camp to get the big drum, come all the way down, and then so this is very weird because I can play like a bit of guitar, a bit of bass, things like that, but I'm not really a drum. Never really been into it. So I was petrified because I was like, I'm gonna have to play with a live band and do all of this. Okay, and Jan turned around and said to me, I went up to him and was like, I can't play. And he was just like, variety, something like the variety of the, variety is the spice of life, or something like that. And I was like, I hate you.
He said,
you're not ambitious enough.
No, it was a really cool line that he
said life is good because it's varied.
That was it.
That's good.
And I just looked at him and I was like, damn you. So I went and played with this band, really, really talented violin player and accordion. Is that right? Accordion or kind of?
Yeah.
So we played all of the music, and I'm like jamming away and things like that, and the violin player is like, "Oh, you need to do this, and proper getting into music." And
And you're like,
and at this point, I had Big Owen sat next to me, and I just looked at him and was like, "What?" And then, so he looked at the violin player and was like, "Yes," and I was like, "What? What am I doing?" So she was like, "When I nod, you finish." Okay, cool. So that happened, and it was like we finished up on that, and I got paid. They actually paid me. What was really like weird, because I didn't do it going in like thinking I was going to get paid or anything like that. So it was really nice, like a really kind of cool moment.
Yeah.
And you know, I was kind of like, well, if I ever go back, like I might be able to drum again. It'd be really kind of like an awesome experience to do again. So yeah, I think that's one of my
really
favorites.
good. Like, I thought it was really awesome that you come and drummed at the Senate Motions. It was really cool.
I love how people think like you're a pit fighter, so you can suddenly drum, but you can't.
No,
Doesn't go hand in hand.
You can, man.
Oh, shush.
Can I just point out, right?
Yeah.
I do actually have another point that I had forgotten about until now.
Okay, but you've had your three.
Can I
do you
have
want
four?
to do another one? Do another
Wait, no, it's your turn now.
one. No, do another one, and then mine will be the one we end on.
Oh, do I not get my last one?
I'm pretty
You've
sure
already
Sammy's
had
got
three.
another one.
No, I've had two.
You're the one who's behind.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll do my last one then.
All right, you do your last one.
So, first of all, honourable mentions. I actually got a chance to roleplay with Usko a tiny bit.
Yes. Isn't he great?
Finally. Oh, it's only taken like...
Let's go. That's Crowman number 2.
Crowman number 2.
Not Vico.
Crowman number 2, also known as James.
The best thing
Seiko
was,
is
I got
Crowman
to...
number 1.
Yeah.
No, the best thing was I got to do a little bit of roleplay with him and then reward him because I needed him to do some work for me. So I took him back to the Imperial offices and I was like, we have cake, do this paperwork for me and you'll get paid. And then he got paid as well, which was good.
Nice.
But
So that's why I didn't get my Halloween done.
he was too busy in Cake Club,
How dare you?
apparently.
How dare you take him to Cake Club?
I mean, you know, Tolly Cake is the best cake.
Damn you.
Orcs Planet, sponsored by Dr. Ptolemy's Imperial Bakery.
Wait, what?
Ptolemy came to Summit Motions as well.
Yeah.
So I saw him the next day and he had the wine on top.
Did you not get the memo about our royalties?
No? I missed out on cake? What?
There was some at the very end. We also had another cake from Pat that was in our tent.
Yeah, I did lay on that at least once. I'm really sorry.
Hold on a
Yeah.
minute. We're getting Orc Planet cake.
It was
No,
delicious.
it's
And-
just us cake.
Oh, well, that's fine.
But
not
you know,
involved.
I am the guy off
Um,
the Orcs Planet. So
Oh,
it's
yeah, I
Orc
forgot
Planet.
because you're the famous one, aren't you?
Oh,
Not
but
bitter at all.
anyway, as you would say, Sammy.
Very good.
So my final good moment.
Yeah,
Top-
don't cry. Thank you.
Top points.
It
Good.
looks like
Good.
he's going to cry.
Good things.
Look
What
at
are we
him.
calling it
Looks
now?
like he's going to cry.
Just say your top moment.
Best moments.
Best moment?
Best moment. So I actually didn't quite tell the truth. I don't have one from each day because I realised this next one was also Friday evening,
Oh, man, you had a lot to drink that night.
and it was but it was slightly after the call ceremony that was really cool. But I realised I didn't say much about it. But it's one of those things where you've just got to be there, and it was so good. But anyway,
Is
so
this one of these points where it's going to be like...
I've
I had
already
fun
forgotten
with
what I was talking
Redacted.
about.
Oh,
So that no, but that
sorry.
was but the
Sounds like your problem.
oh, but the I had fun with Redacted, and we did Redacted was kind of the ceremony.
Okay.
But this one, it was another little personal moment. I ended up in Wintermark. I spent more time in Wintermark than I did in our own camp. This event, which is unusual. I mean, I don't usually spend time in our camp anyway. But the fact I was in another camp for a prolonged period of time was unusual.
A
A proton.
Tom.
But so I originally went over for business, and we were chatting about the upcoming Jotun delegation, and I told them my plans and what we were going to do and what I needed them to organise, and then, you know, they could talk to the Thanes and maybe get me in the Thanes Council, and we'd actually go through what needed to happen before it happened. And it sort of just, everyone else left, and we were in. So we were in the Stormspire hall, and they've set up like a proper little mead hall. They've got like, you know, benches and like the proper high table where the Thane sits at. And I was there with the Thane of Stormspire. And we just had a really lovely chat about ourselves, about our characters, and about what we did, and, you know, what we did before we came to Anvil. What we wanted to get out of life, and, you know, we spoke a lot about skeins and legacy and worth, and, you know, talked about all these things that you might think about in your backstory, or all these things that are really important on the wiki, but you never get a chance to chat about because you're always so busy in Anvil that you don't stop. You know, I'm one of the worst culprits. I will do the things I need to do, and they take up the whole time in Anvil, and that's it. But I actually got, in fact, including the Merrick's point, I got 2 of them this event. I got a chance to sit down, and I had half an hour where I could just, as Fowl, chat about when he used to be a sculptor before he joined the Legions. You know, and I could talk about the items of worth that I used to craft.
What, Fowl Ross?
Fowl Ross. Bob Scarwas. Bob
Ross. I like to imagine he used to have Bob Ross hair as well. And wear the white shirts. Oh God, Chloe, if you're watching, please do that. Please make me that picture.
Sky Bob Fowl
Make
Ross.
us that video, oh my gosh. We love
Have
you,
some
Chloe.
playful little trees over here. It's your world. You make it how you want. It's your Scarson.
But remember, only one life.
Just beat the devil out of it.
Beat the virtues clean out. Wait, that's not right.
You've only got one life. You gotta use it well.
Just make sure it's playful.
Fill it up with happy moments.
Oh God.
And that's what I did. I channeled my inner Bob Ross and had a really nice evening. It was good. And then at the very end of it, because it was way past time out, I walked out the hall, took my mask off, scared a bunch of winter markers, and then wandered off. It was great.
Nice. Alright, my final moment. So there was quite a few to choose from, but I this one kind of has a little bit more to it. Just like the time I've spent playing Empire. On Sunday when we were going to Monster, I had a bit of a dodgy stomach, so I was like, right, don't want to miss out, so I'll water carry. Because I think even if you're feeling a bit like low, you should at least try, especially if you play the battles.
Oh, you have to.
And water carrying also gives you a really good opportunity to actually watch what's going on, because you get a different appreciation for Empire, because you're taking a little step back and you're watching it, and it's crazy good. But my reason why this is one of my favourite moments is I actually got to spend time with Little Owen, or Discord Owen, whatever you want to refer to him as.
Owen off the Discord.
Owen off the Discord.
That's how he introduces himself now.
Okay. Bear in mind, I had never met him before, so this was the first time. And he went down there all kitted up. But someone had said, oh, they've got weapons down there. So he's gone all the way down there with no weapons or anything like that. And he's like, there's no weapons. Like, what do? So I was like, well, look, mate, you can come water carry with me. Like, just like grab some stuff and we'll go. And he's like, oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, that guy right there is hilarious. Me and him spent the whole time being human slaves to the Jotun, being like, do you want some more water? Like, and just running around, and we ended up both being on the front line when we shouldn't have been, and just actually spending time with a brand new, because I think he's done one event before, and this is his first time as an orc. So getting to kind of meet someone who's kind of really fresh to the game and seeing their experiences was really good. Plus, I mean, the guy's just funny, so it just made me laugh the whole time. And then when we'd finished, we'd gone for a cheeky cheeseburger and chips.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Steady on.
No, it's really weird. So it was like, oh yeah, we'll get burgers. So he goes up, orders his burger, and the woman's like, "Do you want chips?" And he goes, "Do I want chips?" I was like, "I don't know, do you?" It's really weird. But no, we sat down, we chatted and things like that, and it was a really great reminder that you meet great people at LARP, and I think that was just a really cool reminder that no matter how long you've been doing LARP, whether it's been short or long, you're always going to meet great people. So that to me was kind of like my top moment.
That's true. Well, it's funny. We had a similar conversation to this the other day. When
Just say yes.
yeah. Well, no, when,
Chips?
did we? No, when we were chatting about, there's like places you go in life and you never expect to meet people, and then suddenly all these people are like really important, and
Yeah.
they're like people that become friends that you never knew existed the year before, or
Okay, if you're going to carry on this like
Can I just say?
chain of thought, can I just ask you not to cry?
I'm not gonna cry.
Okay.
Can I
Sammy,
just say he's doing it again? He's gonna have this like wonderful revelation, and I'm gonna be like, "I've got one more point," and then like I'm gonna say
I've
it,
got a topic.
and
He's
then
crying.
It's gonna be bollocks.
No, but it's all I was gonna say is our first event as Orcs was at Dadford Road at this current site, and it's weird to think that one place that we go to 4 times a year,
So many of our friends are there.
we've met, pretty much all the friends we hang out with on a what's the word?
Semi-regular basis.
On a regular basis, we've all met there.
Yeah.
How
Bar
fucking
a
brilliant is
couple of
that?
very special people.
Yeah, but
I've met every single one of people, like my best friends at Empire.
I mean, I'm always going to think of like my friends from back, like from my school friends as
Yeah.
family, but like all my friends
Friends.
are all from that one site. How weird is that? How sad is that? No.
He's crying. He's crying.
I'm not crying.
Oh.
I'm not.
Oh no, that's his dodgy eye. Hold on.
That is my
Right.
dodgy eye.
Right,
Yeah.
So
it's
now
time
I
to
have
finish.
to,
Bring
like,
us home.
Give like my
Finish
my 4th point. Can we just have like that like segment as
No.
one?
Shush.
Fine. All right. Point 4. So I went on battle.
I
Right.
know where this is going.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I went on battle. For some reasons. It was good. But it was a bad battle to go on, probably. Yeah, I went on the battle. I got kitted up. Reese's character like bigged me up. He's like, "Come on, and like
Did you
I
wear?
did.
You wore your chain and your leather
Yeah,
this
I
time? Yeah.
hope it looks alright. But I looked down and it looked like I had like a flapper dress on.
No, you good.
Um,
Good. You look the part.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a really cool battle. I actually enjoyed it, despite the fact that I did literally nothing.
Yeah.
And was just there.
Are you going to talk about our moment?
I am going to talk about our little moment. Off the back of this battle, before I talk about that moment, off the back of this battle, I've kind of got like a better idea of how like raw could be useful on the battle.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was last night on the Discord, Matt D was talking about how now that the Orc Nation is about 100 people, roughly.
I think we were 96, but yeah.
But, oh my god. Anyway,
Not
now that
that
we're
I'm
about 100
counting.
people, or
Yeah.
96, I think you're
Fine.
fine. There was actually 96 on the battlefield today. Anyway, there was like there was enough people for it to be like, to have like a triage.
Yeah.
But I was finding that I was directing people to it who were staggering out of the front line going, I need a fucking healer. So now I've kind of got, I could go on with a stick and stand with the healers and help.
Are you going to take the banner?
Well, that's That's like literally what I just said.
Well, you said stick. And
Okay.
Stick is
Yeah. Well, I'm
could be a
gonna
rod
get
or a walking stick.
Varna to make it into something special so that I can actually be useful.
Mm.
Because that's kind of the one thing. That's kind of why I haven't really enjoyed going to the Battles to Empire. It's because like there's just no fucking reason for it all to be there, really. Apart from to like morale boost the Ashbourne.
Yeah, but that's me.
But that's like all the other times that I haven't gone on the battlefield, it's pretty much just been you and Varna.
Yeah. And I kind of do my own thing anyway.
Yeah, but like whenever I've taken the battlefield, everyone's gone.
Mm.
Except for people who can't. Like, that's fair enough.
Mm.
But anyway, that was basically like the plan. But anyway, we had a very interesting moment where like there was a part where Dawn extracted.
Yep.
But the Imperial Orcs didn't get those orders to extract from the fort that we'd taken.
Yep.
And like watching you guys take the fort was amazing. Like I was standing with Yargol and like you guys, like all of you, like following his orders exactly was actually incredible to watch. Like it was amazing. It was like being in a film. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, we finally pushed through into the fort, and then like we took it. Then Dawn extracted, and then the Jotun came back, and like I kind of like because obviously I can see. And I kind of saw them coming.
Yeah.
But I didn't realise that I didn't tweak that they were the baddies. And I was just like, those orcs are in here. And I was just like, oh no. Oh no!
I think it was so the moment you're talking about. I think for me is the first time in LARP this has ever happened.
Yeah.
That
Get into it in my own goodness.
You build it up then, go on.
So like then they kind of they mashed the people that they were attacking at the sides.
Yeah.
And they properly withdrew. They went out before.
Yeah,
right?
so it ended up going.
So then the Imperial Orcs, and then we got hit from the other side.
Yeah,
we
were boxed
got
in
behind us.
Yeah.
And I don't exactly understand how they got behind us because I was watching these other guys, and then I like turned, and for a moment I was like, "Hang on, what the fuck is happening?" Because the Imperial Orcs had gotten pushed into literally a corridor.
Yep.
That was about 2 people wide.
Yeah.
And we were getting hit from both sides by people with pikes and fucking
everything.
Was intense.
Yeah.
So there's like this corridor of Imperial Orcs surrounded by Jotun, and then I'm looking and you've got your shield up.
Yep.
In a space that's really thin. And I looked and there was like Jotun there. And then I looked on the other side and there was Jotun there. And I think like you were there, Yargol was right behind me, and like I was like pushed up against Yargol. And I could like vaguely see Yarn not too far away. And I was just like, we're actually all gonna die. This is it.
Yeah.
And it was really weird. It was like, I was quite calm about it. I was like, okay, well, this is how we all die. I better get my new character get sorted out. Do you mind?
I mean, for me, I think it was that really, and I know I go on about it quite a lot, like how long I've been doing this and things like that. But I think this was the first time I'd ever felt this, was in that type of situation where you have people screaming and shouting around you, but to you everything's really quiet.
Mm.
And I just remember looking at you and just being like, I've got to get her out of here. Like, I'm done. And I was fine. I was at peace with that. Like, I was cool with the character dying. It's not that, but I was kind of just like, story wise, Bull would give his life a roar. There's nothing like, there's no question in that. And it was literally like, I could see on the other side, if I was able to get you a little bit forward, I could see another Ashbourne. And I knew if I got you there, that he was quick enough to get you away.
Yeah.
And I looked at Yargo and I was just like, I need to get her out of here. And that's why he slowly moved forward and I pushed you back. Because I was holding my shield up to the side and my axe on the other. so no one could get you, and I was slowly trying to get you over to the side. But it was just, I want to say surreal, but I don't feel like that's the right word. It was just such an intense moment that I had never felt before, where just all of that together, and I was like, wow,
I was
this
thinking
is
about
intense.
it was really intense, but like
Yeah.
it was really strange that I felt like so calm about it, because you know, obviously Raw had no fucking idea what the hell was going on.
I personally feel that as the length that I've been doing this, that was my favourite battle, because I actually felt like it was a battle. I felt like I was.
It felt hard.
Yeah, I felt like I was fighting for my character's life. So whoever writ that at PD, like, oh,
That was cool.
so good.
That battle kind of made me want to go to more fights, actually. Even though we all, right, there's a lot of people know that I'm a consequence junkie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, despite feeling like, okay, this is the end of my character, like, it was really,
It's peaceful.
it was weirdly
Peaceful.
wasn't
Yeah.
it?
It was okay because you knew if you were gonna die,
You'd had a good.
That was it.
yeah, you went out.
It was such a cool way. I legit
Yeah.
thought that I still can't quite comprehend how
Have
we
you done
only
it?
lost
Yeah.
2 people. But like,
Well, that's down to.
I legitimately thought this is how the entire automation dies.
Well, imagine
this
you
is
probably
it. No
had-
one's going to survive this.
You probably had quite a good healing block going on.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but at that point, the triage, there were a Jotun between us and where the triage
Yeah.
had
Wow,
been,
really?
but that
and they'd like retreated back into this corridor, and it was like that's it.
so this is
This is us gone. This is everyone's gonna die. And it was
so
really weird.
I will put this down to Raikkoner's choices of sergeants. Now, yes, all right, I know this is going to sound like I'm bigging myself up, but no, the fact that he chose, like, obviously me, that's fine because I've got the whole thing of I don't leave anyone behind. Like, that's why I'm always like I'm the last out type thing. The fact that he chose Yargol and that he chose Vio. Those 2 people alone is very good to have in Battlefield, and I think that was a really smart choice by Raikkoner to have that, and I think the choices that he had there, even taking me out of the equation, just those 2 alone was a key to one of the reasons we didn't lose as much. But
Yeah.
that's just my opinion on it.
It was really cool. It was really nice. It was
Sounds like it's great.
opened up a nice little thing.
Oh yeah.
Actually, for me, it's made me kind of want to go more often.
Well, you know, an Ashbourne as sergeant. Yeah, I'll get you in there. Don't worry.
Thanks, man.
Anyway, right. That
I'm
has.
sure I could just walk.
Yeah.
For sure,
Yeah, but
that's
someone's got to
fine.
hold your hand or you get a walking stick. Aha! Anyway.
Bitch, I'll cut your hand off.
Aha ha ha! Anyway, that has been our favourite moment. So thank you very much for listening. Like last time, if you'd like us to read your favourite moments, please comment below. And then we will read them out most in about a week's time or so. Do you reckon a week's time?
I reckon a week's time.
Do you like my hand gestures?
I do.
I'm
they
throwing
are.
them out. I'm pulling
We'll do,
shapes.
we'll do it a week from when the video comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool.
This has been our favourite moments.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
We'll see you.
It was an interesting event.
It was very good.
Right. We will see you. Yes.
Anon.
Anon.
I see you anon.
Anon. Anyway, we will see you in the next video.
Bye.